Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends, fans come together, BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. Each week, one of us selects an artist to bring to the panel for everyone to listen, discuss, and rank the studio albums. I'm Jason, with me is Tim.
That's me.
And our longest Patreon subscriber, Prince. Bill is out again this week, so please be sure to leave a comment down below telling Bill he needs to step it up. He's been missing a lot of days at work here recently, so this is a Patreon pick. This week we're talking the Talking Heads. If you'd like to choose an artist for us, maybe come on the show. Check out the Patreon link down below. All right, brief history / relationship. I don't know, always I say slash. It's just in my notes. / relationship with the Talking Heads. Tim, you want to start us off?
Sure. Well, they've always been there. They were pretty popular when I first started really gaining consciousness of what music even was. So they're probably one of the first artists I was aware of. Um, we like to talk about the summer where they played Black Hole Sun or Hey Ya every 20 minutes, but I remember when they played Burning Down the House every 20 minutes. Um, and yeah, I'm a fan of Bernie Worrell, so I've definitely checked out some of their stuff over the years, and um, yeah, been totally aware of them. You hear them on the radio all the time, and it's an artist I've probably heard a couple albums over the years, but never one I jumped into too deeply. So this was a pretty new discography for me.
All right, mine's even less. I had no idea who the fuck the Talking Heads were until about 97, 98. And you remember Alana? Rest in
Sure.
peace.
Yeah.
She had Fear of Music on vinyl. Like, she was listening to vinyl, when everybody else was on CDs. And she loved the band, so I heard that one quite a few times, but never deep dug them. Psycho Killer, there's songs here and there I've heard on the radio, but never listened to all the records until now. So, brand new discography for me. All right, Prince. It's going to be so hard to call you that.
It's weird. I had a friend that we used to share CDs all the time on the bus, and such. I found out about Wesley Willis. And he gave me Talking Heads once. Yeah, right. He gave me Talking Heads once, and for the longest time, I thought it was Robin Williams singing.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like wildly embarrassing. But then really got into them and collect all their albums and all that shit. Plus, they're from Baltimore. That's where I am. Ish.
Hey, you claim where I claim Houston, even though I'm not technically in Houston. Gotta have that days and days,
Yeah. It's close.
What else was I gonna say? I can't remember now. Whatever. Welcome to Old Drunken Discography. So we're just gonna start off with the first record. These Talking Heads 77. All right.
So yeah, putting it into the context, they're definitely part of the whole CBGB scene in 76, 77. That is the birthplace of punk rock. Um, the Ramones were the punkest of them all. But you had bands like the Dead Boys and the Heartbreakers and uh, you know,
Blondie.
Blondie, Jane County. Like there was a whole scene of all the television, um, and it was just a place where people could go and hang out and be themselves. And so yeah, like here's some non-traditional structured pop music, basically. Um, I don't know, stylistically, there's not a whole lot of punk rock here, but attitude wise, I hear it all over the place.
Just
Um,
attitude of it, then also you got like the no wave aspect of it that's flowing around the same time with a
yeah,
lot of the same people, like the art movement, post punk and shit.
yep. But musically, it's very much rooted in, like a Bob Dylan storytelling style. Um, and what was popular at the time was disco.
Especially
And
70s
so
hella disco-y.
yeah, it's pretty disco-y. And to be fair, Blondie were pretty disco-y as well. I would call them more disco than punk. Same here. Um,
I mean, I got
yeah,
more. I
it's
got that
kind
more.
of
The next record to me was more danceable.
a, sure. They definitely go in a direction, but we'll get there. But as far as a first album being like that first punk wave, and really like being at the epicenter of it all. So, so we can't discount that. But I don't know if I would call this a very punk rock record. It is. It's very. I mean, it's again an attitude, yes, but stylistically, like there's a lot of dub here. There's
Yeah.
a lot of disco. There's it's they're definitely on the artier side of things, along with like
Yeah,
television.
Prince said that earlier. That was a good artsy is very appropriate.
Yeah, yeah. Like true college music. We kind of joke about that as a genre here occasionally when we're cruising for melodies, but
It's legit though. That's the thing.
it's legit. Yeah, it's like we can even take it back to the Who did it, where they all met
Yeah.
at art school and wanted to do a pop art project, and it just happened to be like one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time.
I'll say
Um,
this though, I'm not a new wave. I'm very picky with new wave. There's not a lot of new wave that I like. So just a disclaimer going forward.
well, and I don't hear a lot of new wave here either,
No, not well.
honestly.
Yeah, not this one, but just going forward.
Well, even going forward, and we'll get there, but instead of going in a new, and maybe it's just what I'm picturing as new wave is off, but this feels almost more like it goes into adult contemporary.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get there in a couple albums, but it's like, is this a Sting solo album?
It's just solo album.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to like here. Um, I mean, Psycho Killer is probably easily the highlight of the album. There's a reason that song's a classic. But beyond that, I really liked No Compassion. Like that was a really good song. And then the last track, the Pulled Up, that was a really good closer,
Mm-hmm.
especially following Psycho Killer. Um, yeah, I think I liked the B side of this album a lot more, just in general.
Yeah.
The A
Uh,
side did feel a lot more like they were trying to be quirky.
I that's funny you should say that because I didn't realize this until I was 4 albums deep that this is the one of the only ones that the B side is like the better side for me.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's another one where it's like this is the B side. But
Yeah.
yeah, again, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll just
Safe,
I'll
safe side took away. I think tentative decisions is really the only one I like on that side.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or,
I can see that.
or
I mean
something else.
I didn't mind the A side on this one either. Really,
Um,
I liked this record. This was. I'll just run through my notes real quick. The opening lines of this discography, like I do all the time, is wait for the moment to come, stand up, and take my hand. That's a 3 out of 5. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just middle of the road. The track is fine. I love the Caribbean vibes it had going on for it. Like, I'm kind of a sucker for that. What do you call that instrument? You know, the what's that fucking instrument? It's like a Caribbean drumming.
Like the steel drum, or
Maybe?
But the
I don't know.
marimba.
yeah, maybe you're thinking of a marimba or a xylophone.
Marimba sounds right. I'll fucking edit it in whatever I'm thinking of. New Feeling, that was fine. Tentative Decisions, it was very Psycho Killer sounding in like the tone and the melody. And I like the reversing of the genders that he does, like halfway through. Happy Day was super pretty. It was surprisingly cheery. Who Is It? A little funky. The start and stops were cool. No Compassion was good. It had a mid-tempo song change that made it sound almost like two songs in one. The Book I Read, fantastic lyrics, top song contender. The vocal delivery is crazy. Don't Worry About the Government, even more relevant than it was in 77. Top song contender, that's a great one. First Week, Last Week, Carefree. I was getting David Bowie, Man Who Sold the World vibes on it, so that's good. Psycho Killer, classic, top song. Pulled Up, same thing, fantastic closer, and probably one of my favorite closers of the discography. So it was a pretty solid album for me, front to back. I like this one.
Yeah.
The only other note I want to add is on First Week, Last Week, Carefree. Um, if you guys know the band Fear, the LA-based punk rock band,
Yeah.
they had a song called New York's All Right if you like saxophones.
We love our sax solos here on ODD.
Yeah,
Shout
that's
out
right.
Colquitt.
So I had to throw that in there. Yeah.
Oh, we can just talk shit about all the people that's been on the show and left because they just stopped watching our show for some reason. I don't know why.
Well,
You know.
it doesn't fit into their vision, apparently.
They never leave a comment down below. Shout out Hannah, Ed, where you guys at? Leave us a comment down below. Tell us you're watching.
Joe.
Sam.
Other guy.
Other guy. Garrett.
So
Anyway.
many. So many.
Well, we have a lot of people on the show. Anybody else got anything to add about 77?
No, I think Tim's right. I never really thought about that as like being at the beginning of the epicenter of all the punk and CBGB and everything like that.
They're there.
Yeah, they were. You're right. I never thought about it that way.
I was surprised when I was making the sheet that I know it's called 77, but I never thought of the year 1977.
Right.
Like that's pretty early. I didn't realize they were that early.
Yeah, no, it's definitely first wave. And much like Blondie, as the Ramones define and codify this new musical movement, they moved away from that and more towards the radio friendly sound that they both achieved in the early 80s.
And they got played on the radio more than the Ramones. All right, we're not ranking this one because it's number one already.
Yay!
Now who's got the dot? We didn't. We got to go through the dot here. Prince, since you're the special guest, who do you want to guess the next album?
Next album ranking?
Yeah.
Ooh. You go ahead, guess the next album ranking.
Easy peasy. I got the dot next time. All right. See, a lot of times we do that in post, pre-production, but here we just put it on the air.
It's all production.
Yeah, it's all production. All right, so stick around for that. More songs about buildings and food is next. And shout out Prince for the Talking Heads. If you want to pick an artist for us, if your artist sucks, we'll shit all over it. But if it's a good artist, we'll praise it. So check out the Patreon.
Choose wisely.
Yeah. Or check out our Discord. We list all the artists coming up. So if you're in Discord, you see the band that you're like, yeah, I want to jump in on this, let us know. And
I might need some help for the international noise conspiracy.
No, I got you on that one. Trust me, I know that band, or what I've heard, I've liked.
Okay.
Bill's gonna hate it though. I need some help for Green Day though. All right, so as always, be safe and make good decisions.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.